Hello friends, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to Self-Care Sunday, episode 2. I'm really excited about this one. I was originally going to do a baking video, but we're out of flour because we've been baking so much, so I can do that for next month's video still if you guys are interested in seeing that. So let me know if you want a fall-themed baking video for the next episode. But today I'm going to be talking about, as you can tell by the title of this video, some self-care related books, sort of. I just picked 10 prompts for like self-care books, I guess, if you're looking for something to read for self-care. Hopefully these prompts will help you out with that. I guess you could treat it as a tag. If you choose to make a video with these prompts and stuff, please come back to this video and leave me a comment. I will go watch it. I'm not expecting anyone to do that, but like, that would be really cool. Anyway, let's get into it, I guess. So the first little prompt I have on here is your current read. I'm currently reading The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. There's a glare. I'm covering up the library sticker. But anyway, I'm a pretty big fan of mystery novels. This one is quite interesting. I talked about it in my TBR video, my fall TBR video. Okay, in all mystery novels, you obviously don't find out who the killer is until the end, usually. I've never read one where you find out earlier, but anyway. With this book, you don't even find out who the victim is until the end. I'm almost finished with it. I've got a little bit left there, like less than 100 pages. And I still don't know who the victim is. I know the gender of the victim, which I found out about halfway through, but I still don't even know who the victim is. I have a guess, but I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I really like this book so far. I'm guessing it's going to be a 4-star read. I read a lot of 4-star books somehow. I guess I'm pretty good at picking books. Anyway, but yeah, I definitely recommend this if you're into mysteries. It's really fascinating because all the characters have secrets of their own and they just come out throughout the book, and it's really dramatic. Next prompt is a childhood favorite. So this one is kind of controversial these days, but I picked Harry Potter. We don't need to talk about the author. We do not stan her at all. The opposite of stan her? I don't know. Transphobia is really disgusting. So anyway, this is still my favorite childhood book. So I'm trying to separate the story from the author because it's not just that I liked this book, I have like a really strong emotional connection to it. So yeah, I picked out just the Sorcerer's Stone because it's the first one in the series. It made sense. I was not about to bring all 7 over here, but I feel like this one especially gives me all the like warm fuzzy feelings. The movie is just such a lovely fall movie, even though it takes place across the span of a year, but the Halloween dinner in the Great Hall, oh my gosh. Anyway, yes, this one always gives me so many warm feelings of nostalgia. So that's why I picked this. Runner-up for childhood favorite is the Mysterious Benedict Society series. I really don't know where the rest of the series went because I used to have all of them, but now I can only find this one. But anyway, this is a good one too. I kind of want to go back and reread this series as well because I have started rereading the Harry Potter series, which you might know. Anyway, so yeah. This is a nice second for my childhood favorites that I still have on my shelf. There are literally countless childhood favorites that I have, but I can't. These are the only ones that I actually have on my shelf, I think. Next up is your favorite self-help book. This one, you know, pretty directly related to self-care, but I picked You Are a Badass. This book is so good. I said this in one of my older videos, but I seriously recommend this to every single person ever. It is so good. I definitely was not in the place a while ago to read any sort of self-help book because I just like, I don't know, I didn't really believe in them. I just thought like, ugh, that's lame or whatever, you know? I was a teenager. I still am a teenager. But anyway, this one is so approachable no matter how much you like or don't like self-help books. So seriously, this book is so good. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Another self-help book that I read a while ago when I wasn't in the mindset to read it really. I would like to reread because I don't even think I finished it. I think I've read like a few chapters of it, but it's called The Untethered Soul and it's by Michael Singer, I think. I think I'm in a more accepting state mindset right now, so I would probably digest the information a lot better now. So I might have to go back and read that one soon. Next up is your favorite short story collection. I have a couple for this because the actual favorite short story collection that I have on my shelf is called Jesus' Son by Dennis Johnson. But if you're looking for something happy, definitely do not recommend this one. The stories are beautifully written and it's pretty short as well. It's really short. I have a couple other short story collections on my shelf that are the same genre. I took a class last year called Dirty Realism and I read this book for that class and I loved it, but it is definitely very dark and I wouldn't really say that it's appropriate for self-care, so I chose this one, Holidays on Ice by David Sedaris. I love David Sedaris. He is literally so funny. I have two of his collections on my shelf right now, neither of which I've read, but I have read Santaland Diaries, which is in this one. Or I actually listened to him narrating it, which was amazing. Oh my gosh. Hearing David Sedaris read his own stories, incredible. Anyway, I love this book, or I love that story, and I'm very much looking forward to reading this entire collection when it gets closer to Christmas, because it's still a little early for me, you know? November, maybe, but not until then. Definitely recommend David Sedaris if you haven't read any of his stuff before. I love him. The other collection I have by him is Naked, which I'm sure it's great, but I haven't read any of the stories in that one, so that's why I haven't recommended it. Next on the list, something that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. I feel like my childhood nostalgia books fit into this category pretty well, but for this one I chose The Animals, which is a collection of love letters between Christopher Isherwood and Dawn Backerty. I'm pretty sure they're famous, but I don't really know why. I don't really know who they are, but... Oh. Christopher Isherwood is an English novelist and screenwriter. Yeah, it's literally just a book of their love letters, which is really sweet. Kind of sad if you're lonely, but depending on the mood you're in, it's really sweet. I just read the little blurb here, and it says that there was like a 30-year age gap, which is kind of concerning. One of them was 48 and the other one was 18, so that might be a little bit triggering to some people. I haven't read this one in over a year, I think. I don't think I've read it since last summer, any of it, but I remember the letters being really sweet, and it's just really interesting to read someone's actual like love story through their letters. I guess it's a little bit, makes me feel a little bit like voyeuristic, and that's kind of creepy, but yeah, I guess this is kind of a toss-up on this prompt. I don't know, it seemed like a better idea before I started filming. For Warm and Fuzzy, I also have Hope for the Flowers, which is a really sweet book. It's like a children's book, I think. And it just tells a story about some little caterpillars turning into butterflies. It's so cute. It says, a tale partly about life, partly about revolution, and lots about hope for adults and others, including caterpillars who can read. It's so cute. I have no idea where this book came from, but it's been on my shelf for years. And I am not complaining about it. I love it. Okay, this ties into the next prompt, but I'm also gonna pick Pride and Prejudice for this one because I love this book so much. I still haven't seen the movie, but it's on my list to watch this fall. But oh my goodness. I don't even know how to explain it. If you haven't read Pride and Prejudice still, what are you doing? Come on. But yeah, the next prompt is a challenging read. So when I think of something that's a challenge to read, I think of classics, which is why I have my 2 Jane Austen novels, Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility. I've read 3 of her novels now. I'm trying to get my hands on Northanger Abbey because I've heard that that's like her take on Gothic, which I'm really pumped about because I've heard that she just makes fun of Gothic literature. I do like Gothic literature, but I cannot wait to read a book about Jane Austen making fun of it. Yes, my 2 Jane Austen novels. I love Jane Austen a lot. I really, really enjoy her novels. That is what I've picked for challenging read because I really like reading classics to sort of flex my brain muscles. It makes me feel really smart, so I think that's a form of self-care, which is why it has made it onto the list. And opposite of that, when you're just needing to give your mind a break, just relax and read something really easy, what's your favorite easy read? For this, I picked my Hardy Boys books. I have The Sinister Signpost and The Twisted Claw, number 15 and number 18, super random, I don't know why. But I used The Sinister Signpost a few weeks ago to like catch up on my reading goals. I literally read the entire book in a day. Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew are great for this, so if you ever need to catch up on your reading goals, I would definitely suggest picking one of these up. I will say the writing is a little bit problematic. There's a lot of fat shaming, which is really bad. They were written in like the 30s, I think. If the problematic writing doesn't bother you, I would suggest these, but maybe it should. Maybe we should just not read those anymore. I suppose next up we will do nonfiction / memoir. Ooh, whatever you want, I guess. This is the only memoir that I have on my shelves. Tina Fey's Bossy Pants. I read this a few years ago. I remember it being good. I mean, it's Tina Fey. But yeah, I don't really remember much about it. I was planning on rereading it this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen because I have so many other books I need to read. So perhaps I will reread this in the near future, but also maybe not. But I think I would recommend it from what I remember. But the one that I really wanted to talk about, I don't have on my shelf, but it is Persepolis by... let me look it up. It is by Marjane Satrapi. Hopefully I am saying that correctly. It's about her life as a young girl in Iran during the revolution, and it's really fascinating. It's also a graphic novel, so it's pretty easy and digestible, but it's really an incredible story. So highly, highly recommend that if you haven't read it, but I'm very much not well versed in graphic novels or memoirs, so if you have any suggestions for memoirs, please leave them below. Memoirs, I feel like, are really interesting ways to get into other people's minds and just like learn about other people's lives. Fascinating to me, so wanted to include that in here. Next up, I have your favorite picture book. I don't necessarily mean like children's book. Mine is Paris in Color by Nicole Robertson, and it's just pictures of Paris. I have a lot of these like coffee table books, so yeah, it's really pretty. Love Paris. I love Paris. Oh my gosh. If you've never been to Paris, highly recommend it. But yeah, it's really cool to look through this one every once in a while. Just remember my time in Paris, even though it was only a few days and it was like 2 or 3 years ago. My favorite part about Paris was probably the food, to be honest with you. The bakeries, oh my goodness. Anyway, my favorite picture book. And last, but certainly not least, I have your favorite coloring book. I love coloring as a way to like relax. I know it makes some people anxious because they're worried about like staying in the lines and all that stuff. Picking the right colors. Sometimes I worry about that, but you know, I like coloring. So this one is Geoscapes. It is a Dover coloring book. I don't know if it's like my favorite, but I do like this one a lot. It's got some, whoa, very interesting patterns in here. Some are more simple, and some are insanely intricate, like this one. So yeah, that's my favorite coloring book. And those are all 10 prompts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I am really enjoying this series. I'm really excited for next month because I'm really hoping that I can do that recipe that I wanted to do this month. As always, let me know if you have any other suggestions for this series or anything else that you want to see. I feel like based off my last few videos, it seems like this channel is turning into a booktube channel, which it's not. I just have been reading a lot and wanting to talk about the books that I've been reading. So that's why I've been posting so much book content, but yeah, I'm still doing other stuff. Just apparently not these last few weeks. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe because I would love to see your lovely face here again next time, and I will see you then. Bye!